Hello and welcome to my new Blu-ray collection video, guys. This is the first time I do something like this. I'm only going to be focusing on my animation Blu-rays. Let's get started. First up, we got Snow White. This is Disney's first animation movie. Dumbo. I actually didn't like this movie at first when I saw it back in 2012, but after a couple rewatches, I grew to appreciate it, and yeah, I got on Blu-ray. This is actually my favorite movie ever made. I haven't seen it in a while, so I don't know if that, statement is still true or not, but I've always considered this movie a work of art. Lady and the Tramp. This is actually my sister's favorite Disney movie at the time. She bought it herself on DVD, but I saw it for myself and I thought it was pretty good. This is a classic as well. This movie's weird because the story is trying to tell this story, you know, when Arthur pulls the sword of the stone, except it doesn't happen to like the last 8 minutes of the movie. The whole movie is about the witch Merlin here, the wizard, excuse me, Merlin here, teaching Arthur valuable life lessons by turning him into different animals throughout the whole movie. And that's just the movie. It's just him being a squirrel, a fish, a bird, and then he gets into a fight with another witch, and then yeah, that's it. That's the movie. It's super entertaining in that aspect, but literally it could have been called anything different and not Sword in the Stone, and it would have been something. It wouldn't have had to worry about doing the Arthur story because it literally has like no point to it. Jungle Book. Really enjoyed this movie a lot. At first I didn't care for it when I was a kid because I thought it was kind of dumb, but it's Robin Hood. It's like the first furry animated movie, you know? So of course you gotta have it. Fox and the Hound. This is one of my favorites right here. Not the sequel. Oliver and Company. I saw this movie a while ago, like in 2013 or something, and I enjoyed it. Though I've been watching recent reviews of this movie on YouTube, and yeah, I can see its flaws. This movie's not perfect. It has a lot of flaws to it. Aladdin. This is my first childhood movie. I watched this a lot when I was a kid. This movie's classic. It's super freaking funny, and yeah, it definitely holds up. It's one of my favorites. But one of my top 10 favorites right here is everyone's top 10. I mean, come on, it's the freaking Lion King. You gotta have the Lion King. Rescuers and Rescuers Down Under. People actually don't care for these movies that much, especially its sequel. I don't know why. I think these movies are really good, especially its sequel. I think it's better than the first, of course, but yeah, no, I'm actually a fan of these two movies. But a movie that everyone seems to really love is The Hunchback of Notre Dame. You know, this is some good shit right here. This is Disney's darkest movie, one of their darkest movies. Great animation, great songs. Hellfire, hello, is like probably one of the best villain songs ever made. However, this is a 2-movie collection, and it includes its garbage sequel, Hunchback of Notre Dame 2. No one talks about the movie. Yeah, let's just move on. Another one of my childhood movies right here, Tarzan. This is actually one of the top 3 Disney movies I watched back to back way too many times as a kid. This is one of my favorites, so of course I gotta have it on Blu-ray. Super nostalgic to me. Another movie I watched a bunch, not quite as much as Tarzan, but still a lot, is Lilo and Stitch. You know, it's classic. Everyone loves Lilo and Stitch. This is the 2-movie collection, which includes its sequel, Stitch Has a Glitch, which is actually pretty good. It's not bad. So this is a 2-movie collection where it's actually warranted for once, not freaking Notre Dame. This is 101 Dalmatians 2. This is the Target Blu-ray exclusive. I don't know if there's another Blu-ray release of it. I think there is, but this was the Target version. This movie's actually not bad for a straight-to-DVD Disney sequel. It's actually not bad. Home and Arrange. I have this because I don't know, I find it entertaining. It's not Disney's best, of course. There's a lot of people that actually hate this movie. Like, hate this movie. But I don't know, I find a certain sense of charmness to it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I should just shut up and put it away. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Frankenweenie. This is a Tim Burton movie, stop motion. Saw it a while ago. I haven't seen it in a while, but I really like it. You know, really cool dark imagery. This is one of Disney's underrated movies. This is when they were still experimenting with 3D animation. They made Chicken Little. Then they made Read the Robinsons, which was pretty good. But it wasn't catching too much steam. You know, Pixar was still overcrowding them, so they made Bolts, and this one's actually not bad. And they made Princess and the Frog. This is one of my favorites. Good 9 out of 10 movie right here. Really love it. Boom, Tangled. And then they made Wreck-It Ralph. This one, a lot of people have mixed opinions on. I think it was great. Like, I really loved this movie when I first saw it. Top 10 favorites right here, Zootopia. I was so excited to see this movie that I actually went to the theaters to see it, and I don't usually do that for animation movies because I hate sitting in a theater full of kids, and they just, I can't do it. I can't do it. And then they went ahead and made Moana, which is one of their best as well, but they released both in the same year. I think they should have waited for Moana in 2017 because this movie is also contender as one of their best, but Zootopia ended up winning Best Animated Picture in 2016. This came out in 2016 as well. They should have waited, I know, but What you gonna do? This one I bought recently because I had to convince myself to buy it. This is Ralph Breaks the Internet. I really enjoyed it when I first watched it. I thought it was actually Disney's like most entertaining movie ever made at the time. But I started listening to reviews. I started really analyzing this movie, and I start to see the problems it freaking has. And yeah, it's not good. I mean, it's good. It's entertaining. But in terms of a true sequel to the first movie, there's too many problems with the plot holes. There's just too much. Raya and the Last Dragon. This is Disney's current film, excluding Encanto, of course. This movie I'm mixed on. I actually gave a 6 out of 10 to. I wanted to like it a lot more. I really did. But I don't know. I just felt empty after watching it. Like, I didn't really feel anything. I definitely need to rewatch it, though. That's why I bought it. My father has a lot more Disney. Like, he has Frozen. He has Frozen 2. He has more things, including Pixar as well. Like, he has all the Finding Nemo's, the Toy Stories, the Monsters, Inc. He has all that. That's on his collection over there. Don't believe me? Yoinks, look at all those movies. I'm not gonna get through all those. But The Incredibles. This is a childhood movie. Watched it a whole bunch of times. Ratatouille. I only seen this once, but it's actually one of the Pixar's more mature movies because it's made by Brad Bird, the same director as The Incredibles. But this movie is like, I don't know, it's not really made for kids, if you know what I mean. Like, it's more for like adults to enjoy, you know. Then we got Up. Up is a pretty good movie. My favorite Pixar movie ever made, though, is Inside Out. This is, you know, top tier movie in my opinion. Yeah, it's 10 out of 10 for me. This Blu-ray is cool though. You can swap out the character cards. As you can see. There we go. Got some discussed representation. Then we got Coco. Coco is a great movie. There's some issues I have with it, but the last 20 minutes of this movie is literally impossible to watch without like tearing up or crying or whatever. It's literally impossible. And then the last two I have here is the most recent ones. We got Soul. Soul's a great movie. Soul's really great. I would have preferred Wolfwalkers winning Best Animated Movie of the Year, but whatever. Luca is their most recent movie, besides Turning Red, which is coming next. I cannot wait for Turning Red. I'm super stoked about that. But Luca was actually pretty good. It's a pretty good movie. It's very simple. In fact, it's probably Pixar's most simple movie. But yeah, it's very charming. Very, very charming, endearing characters, and yeah, very simple story that's fun to watch. This movie is a game changer for me right here. This is Rio. This is what got me into animated movies. This is what got me into my love of birds. This is what got me into wanting to pursue animation. It is a movie that I give a 9 out of 10, but I would not mind giving a 10 to. Because I just love it. I love it way too much. Like, way too much. But I need to rewatch it to really come to that decision, because I don't know if it deserves a 10. Because there's it has some issues. It's not perfect. Not perfect at all. But I love it. It's very close to my heart. Just like Bambi. But then comes its sequel, right? We got Rio 2. It's entertaining, but man, is it dull. There's a lot of dull things. It's one of those movies where you forget you watched after watching it. And it's weird because I recently rewatched this and I don't remember it. You know, it's not really that memorable. I don't know why. It's very strange. Again, it's not bad. It's still a good sequel. I'm glad that we have it, but compared to the first, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't do much for me. Spies in Disguise. This is unfortunately Blue Sky Studios' last movie because, you know, Disney shut them down. Whoopity-doo. This movie is actually super great. Like, the trailers made it look like a piece of crap, but it's not. It's super funny. It's super creative. The animation is great. Yeah, the character moments are great too. Yeah, everything about it is great. I highly recommend this movie. Rango is an underrated movie. It won Best Animated Feature Film in 2011, sure, but no one really talks about it that much. This movie is fantastic as well. The Prince of Egypt. First of all, terrible cover. This is a recent Blu-ray release, and they do that new thing where they're like, oh, this is the main character of the movie, so let's just put his face on the cover. There we go, that's the cover art. Terrible cover. But yeah, this movie is almost a masterpiece. In fact, to a lot of people, it is a masterpiece. The way they do things in this movie, whew, might be my favorite DreamWorks. I do enjoy a lot of DreamWorks movies. I like the Shrek movies. I like the Kung Fu Panda movies a lot. I like the How to Train Your Dragon movies a lot. They're not here. I put them apart as my father's collection, but those belong to me. But just know that I have those. But I do have Puss in Boots. This is actually the first Blu-ray I bought besides Rio. I believe I bought this in Rio the same day when my father got the Blu-ray player. Legend of the Guardians, The Owls of Ga'Hoole. A lot of people say that this movie could have had the potential of being really good, but it rushed itself because it tried to match like 5 or 6 books or something in under 2 hours. I'm not too familiar with the books. I've never really read the books. But yeah, no, I've always admired this movie because of how amazing it looks in CGI, but I just don't remember too much about it. Like, it kind of just leaves my head after a while, you know? So, it's definitely due for a rewatch. The Lego Movie. A lot of people were surprised that this movie ended up being as great as it is, because when you see something like this, you think, oh, it's gonna be another dumb kids movie, whatever. No, this movie is super creative, it's fun, it's clever, like the twist ending is like perfect, it makes sense, it's heartwarming. Yeah, it does everything right. It's a very good movie. When I was younger, getting into animation back in like 2011, 2012, I watched Happy Feet and I enjoyed it. I thought it was fine for what it was, but I really liked its sequel. It Surfs Up. No one talks about this movie. This movie is so creative. Like, seriously, the way it's presented, like in a documentary style with the handheld camera and it's following them and all that, like as if someone is actually filming it, they had to develop a new type of technology to even incorporate that into this film because it's such a, you know, a different style. This movie is great. Like, seriously, everything about it is just great. We got the My Little Pony, the movie. This is from G4, of course. It's not bad. It has a lot of good moments in it, for sure. The main villain is kind of weak. There's some weak aspects to this movie. Everything's not perfect, but for what it is, it's pretty good. Paw Patrol, the movie. For a kid's movie, it's not bad. It's really not bad at all. I'm not a Paw Patrol watcher. You know, I don't watch that shit. Sorry. But for a little kid's movie, it's not bad. Actually, there's some things in here that's actually pretty admirable. Kubo and the Two Strings. There was a time where this was like one of my top 10 favorite animated movies when this first came out. Like, I just adored it so much. But then I kind of slowed down a bit and I'm like, hold on, let's really think about this. And then I analyzed it. The story has issues. There's a lot of problems in this movie, and it kind of bogged it down for me. Still great. Like, I still love it. It's still a really great movie. But yeah, it has some plot issues. Isle of Dogs. This movie's great. If you're not used to Wes Anderson's style, then yeah, you're gonna be like, what the hell am I watching? Fantastic Mr. Fox. This is the Criterion, which is like a special type of Blu-ray that gets better treatment than regular Blu-ray. I haven't seen this in a while, but I remember loving it. I watched it like 3 times. Then we have Book of Life. A lot of people said this is what Coco ripped off on, because this came first. They're both completely different movies in my opinion, so it's not really worth a comparison. The only thing that they're comparing to is the Day of the Dead, which is that celebration. But this movie's a lot of fun. Like, it is a lot of fun. It's creative in its imagery, has great character design. Anomalisa. This is the first animated movie I have in my collection that's definitely not for kids. This is definitely for adults. It's existential, it's philosophical, it's very deep, confusing, but also disturbing at the same time. Yeah. It's directed by Charlie Kaufman, who always makes those human movies. You know, those movies where you really go deep into the psyche of the human mind. And yeah, this is really deep. Belladonna of Sadness. This is a 1973 psychedelic Japanese film. It's super effed up. I rewatched it yesterday because I wanted to make sure I actually did like it. Because when I first saw it, I had no idea what to think of it. The Last Unicorn. This movie's weird because there's a lot of things I like about it, but what's holding me back is its visuals. The animation is very rough in this movie. A lot of times it's okay, it's decent, but then a lot of times it's like, ugh, they like ran out of budget or something. So I love its story, I love the voice acting, the songs are great. I just wish that the animation brought it more to life, because it is holding it back. Next we got Wolfwalkers. This currently does not exist on Blu-ray. They recently released it on Blu-ray, but it's part of a 3-pack set with 2 other movies, and if you want to buy Wolfwalkers by itself, too bad. That's super annoying, I don't know why they did that. So I went to Etsy and I got this custom-made Blu-ray by this guy, and he made it look official. I mean, look. This looks official to me. I don't know what to tell you. And it works. It's a perfect copy. So I'm like, you know what? Take my money. Here, I'll give you my wallet. This is one of my favorite movies of last year. 10 out of 10 right here. Beautiful movie. This was the first movie in the Irish folklore trilogy, Secret of Kells. This movie's really great. I really liked everything about it. It's a shame about Song of the Sea, though. That one is kind of my least favorite. It's okay. It's just okay. But I couldn't get into it as much as this one or Wolfwalkers. So another 10 out of 10 movie I watched last year was Morona's Fantastic Tale. This is actually something that I want to rewatch in the English dub and possibly review for the channel because I just love it to death. Like, this is one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen. And another 10 out of 10. We got the 10 out of 10s back to back. This is Bird Boy and the Forgotten Children. This is one of the darkest animated movies I own. Again, I love everything about it. The Breadwinner. This movie is really great as well. At first, I didn't care for it because it kept cutting to a side story with this guy. It's basically what the story that the little girl is talking about throughout the whole movie, but it comes together at the end so well. White Snake. This is a CGI Chinese movie that's actually pretty good. It has some weird moments to it, for sure. Some weird character moments, but the action is great. Characters are pretty good. The last sequence is crazy. And it also has a pretty bleak but bittersweet ending, I'd say. Weathering with You. This movie's beautiful. It's so beautiful, it actually just got a 4K release. The visuals are super stunning, and it's very, very interesting. Lou Over the Wall. This is directed by Miyazaki Yuzuya, who just does really wacky, weird, crazy crap. This movie is an attempt of him trying to do something a little bit more heartwarming and somewhat normal, but it's still freaking crazy with the visuals. It's very fun, though. But his craziest movie is Mind Game. This is, without a doubt, the craziest animated movie I have in my entire collection. I don't even know where to begin. Just watch the trailer. Just watch the trailer to this movie. Good luck. Like, if it intrigues you to then watch the whole thing, good luck. We have Big Fish in Begonia. Very underrated Chinese animated movie. Beautiful visuals. Like, oh my god. More recent movie, The Legend of Hai. This was based off like a web cartoon or something, but then they decided, all right, let's make a prequel, but let's like give it a budget. Let's give it more of a let's make it a movie. And it's super entertaining. Like, it has a very solid story. The animation is great. It's super fast. It's super experimental. We have Summer Wars here. From that same director, my favorite of his is definitely Wolf Children. This is a 10 out of 10 for me. This movie is beautiful. It's just beautiful. There's nothing more to say about it. It's just... Boy and the Beast, which I recently rewatched last year. It's pretty good. It has a good story, you know, good characters. But, yeah, it's not as engaging as these, Wolf Walkers, for sure. Wolf Walkers. Wolf Children, excuse me. But yeah, it's not bad. 3 Studio Ghiblis. Got Cat Returns, Kiki's Delivery Service, and Ponyo. I am thinking of getting Spirited Away, because I did really enjoy that as well. We got Metropolis from Azuma Tezuka. It's weird, because this movie feels like a fever dream. Like, it doesn't actually exist. And I don't remember too much about it, but I do remember enjoying it enough to buy the Blu-ray, so. Final Fantasy VII, Advent Children. This movie is kinda like, there's a lot of problems with it, but I bought it because, you know, it's Final Fantasy, and there's some cool fight scenes between Cloud and Sephiroth. You gotta have stuff like that, so. Pokemon, the first movie, Pokemon the movie 2000, Pokemon 3 the movie. I've only seen this, like, once. And I remember seeing this when I was, like, a baby. That's how old it was. I was, like, 2 when this movie came out. But this one right here, childhood. The second movie. But there are 2 more recent movies. I Choose You. People love to hate on this movie just because Pikachu talks at the end. I thought it was pretty impactful in that moment. I don't know why people seem to hate it so much, but yeah, no, this movie's pretty good. It's like a retelling of the first 2 episodes of the show, but like different, you know? Yeah, don't spin to it. This is the second one called The Power of Us. This movie's not bad either, and it has its problems. It's not perfect, but it's pretty entertaining for what it is. Dragon Ball Super Broly. This movie's amazing. I really enjoyed Dragon Ball Z, and Super. Saw a few of their movies, and they're all really good for the most part, but this one in particular is probably their best. My Hero Academia, 2 Heroes. Not bad for their first movie. The story is pretty cliche, you know, it's nothing too special, but for what it is, it's really... It comes together at the end. It's a really nice watch. But it doesn't pale in comparison to its second movie, because the second movie is freaking amazing. The animation is way too good in this movie, especially in the last like 20 minutes or so. It goes crazy. Yeah. Again, the story is nothing special. The villain is kind of meh, but it doesn't matter because it's just fun. It's just great, crazy fun. No Game, No Life, Zero. I enjoyed the anime series. The movie, though, it's interesting. It's like a prequel, but it is a lot more serious. That's for sure. It's a lot more serious. Peter Rabbit. I do not enjoy its sequel, really. Its sequel is really, like, not good, in my opinion. But I really like the first one. I find it really solid. The writing in this movie is funny. It's actually genuinely funny at moments. It's charming. It does a lot of things right. So I appreciate it for that. Then we have Detective Pikachu. This movie's not bad. I had a couple meh moments regarding it, but it's not bad. Another movie I didn't find that bad was, it's kind of controversial, Space Jam: A New Legacy. Yeah, a lot of people hate this movie too. I didn't find it that bad. Sorry. Yeah, of course, I know it's goofiness, I know it's stupidity, and it's cringe factor, but you just watch it to have fun. And I did. I had fun with it. Then we have The Chronicles of Narnia. That's the third. And the second, Prince Caspian. This trilogy is great. Like, this is pretty much Lord of the Rings for kids. And, yeah, I like all three. The first one's my favorite. Now we move on to the last three movies in my collection. Unfortunately, these are DVD only. Daisy, A Hen into the Wild. This is a 10 out of 10 movie for me as well. It's super depressing, but beautiful at the same time. I made a music video of this movie on my channel where I use a J. Cole song. And it actually fits very well, in my opinion, at least. So, yeah. Underrated. Then we have Fritz the Cat. Enough said. And then we have Cats Don't Dance, which is an underrated Warner Brothers movie. Super fun. I wish this was on Blu-ray, because I would really love to have this on Blu-ray, but unfortunately it's DVD right now. Yeah. It's very, very fun stuff. And last but not least, I just forgot to include it because I recently bought it. This is my latest movie, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, on 4K. This movie's going to look great in 4K because the animation is really going to pop out. Yeah, no, I'm happy that they finally made this into 4K because I thought it was great. Alright, well, that's my animation collection, guys. Thank you so much for watching, as always. If you guys are interested in seeing my other movies, I would definitely like to do a video on that. Let me know in the comments. If you watched this for so long and got to this point, thank you so much for watching. And that's it. I'll see you all next time.